Hello, everyone. We are the Lost Caravan RPG. We do one-shots, mini-series, and long-running campaigns. If it's TTRPG, we pretty much do it all. Tonight, episode 15 of our Fabula Ultima series, Fatal Ascension. Where we left this group, they had just uncovered some alternate timeline shenanigans and are about to face down death for the second and hopefully final time, because what is a JRPG without a reoccurring boss with multiple stages? But before we dive into that, I do have just a few announcements. The first, of course, being that we are sponsored today in every stream by Soul Muppet Publishing. They're a fantastic publishing house with a bunch of very cool games under their belt, namely Orbital Blues, which we have done a playthrough of on the channel, and you'll see again just as soon as I get my hands on Orbital Blues Afterburn. Other than that, if you miss any of our streams, you can find them on our YouTube channel. It's just Lost Caravan RPG on YouTube. We have hundreds of videos, well over 1,000 hours of content, and over the course of the next week or so, we'll be up to date on our Lancer Season 2 of the Dustgrave series, as well as Season 3 of Delta Green. They'll all be up on YouTube, all edited and up to date. So, yeah, that's very cool. But I think that's it. I think that's all I got for announcements. So, I'm going to kick up some music here. Ignore the fact that this sounds like a sad funeral hymn. We don't worry about that. And we're gonna go left, right, top to bottom as we do, which means that we are starting with Anna.
I forget every time that we do that. I am Anna, aka Archival, the Spunny Most Voices on the Internet, queer and trans advocate, museum worker, and TTRPG performer, producer, and podcaster. And I am not afraid of the boss having multiple stages because I play Cadence, the party's glass cannon. I hit very hard and then die quickly. But Cadence is a time assassin, and is exactly what it sounds like on the tin. She fucks up time and kills people, but she's trying to get away from that.
Yeah.
She's had a lot of character development this season, but we'll see. We'll see if she survives.
We get to see a handful of Cadence's ancestors that were very much on your side and said, yeah, fuck them up. We don't worry about the ones that aren't on your side.
No, but they're with alternate timeline Re, so I feel pretty good about it. What about so we have doubles of some of them, which could be interesting.
Dude, yeah. Raid, hello, Singularity Roleplay. Thank you so much for the raid. Share your community with us. You came at a great time because we're just about to fight death. But that brings us over to Kian.
Hello, everybody. My name is Kian. My pronouns are they, he. Tonight I am playing Sprout. Just a little lad, just a little guy vibing. I just want to be able to introduce my girlfriend to my boyfriend. As long as we do that, that's all that I want.
That isn't that all any of us want. And Glyza will be joining us very shortly, but Glyza's playing Echo, the king-to-be for an underwater nation, who got to meet their father, but an alternate reality version, who was actually supportive and nice, and it's very, very weird and unsettling. And then over to our... I mean, it's been so long since you've done a war crime. Like, I don't know if we can continue to use this joke.
I resent that. I've never committed a war crime in my life. Hoop. It's not a war crime unless it is in wartime. That's a fact. Hi, I'm Kit. I play Ophelia, lovingly referred to as Ophi by the masses. I'm a little robot. I'm a little engineer. I'm a little former kindergarten teacher. Unclear. Nanny, vessel for a time-sick child from hell, unclear. We've been through a lot this season. A lot of identity being rehashed, but still a robot. And my hands are weapons. Sometimes war crime committing weapons. Sometimes just a sword. You know, it depends. So I'm just here to support my friends and kick some butt.
Your hands are great and they contain magnitudes. And we are without one Tay tonight, which, who needs a healer? Like, honestly. But yeah, that just leaves me. Of course, I am Andrew, our storyteller for tonight's game, and holy wow, does this sound like a funeral march that I'm currently playing. It's something a little less funeral-y. Yeah, I'm very, very excited for this. And let's just dive into it. Like I was saying, where we last left off, we had met alternate reality versions of individuals that were fulfilling the destiny that, in their timeline, you all failed to fulfill. Whether it was Sprout's relative, or Cadence's sister, or Ophi's creator, Echo's father. You found them fighting their way to the end of hell, presumably to try to stop whatever darkness had infected their world. You all, however, seemed to skip a few steps because you weren't supposed to be here. It wasn't your turn to come and wage this war, but here we are. We had a very unfortunate talk with Ophi's creator, claiming that none of this matters, that Ophi just simply needs to die, and that's it. Ophi was created to die, and nothing you can do can stop that. And before Cadence could stab the ever-living shit out of him, you all convinced him to leave the campsite and venture off on his own. From there, we had a few moments of rest to yourselves before the inevitable would arise. You all know that this fight is coming. There's no stopping it. There's no avoiding it. Best you can do is hope to survive it. As everyone in the camp just kind of silently goes about their process of, reattaching all their plates of armor, sharpening blades, reading through their spell tomes. What would you all like to do?
Ophi is probably sitting a little bit of ways from the group. It's been an emotional time. And trying to look busy. Like she's, cleaning plates or, tightening screws or what have you. But she is focusing on that Oracle Eye.
Okay.
Ophi is trying to get any sort of read on what this fight is about to look like. Because they owe it to this group to not be the reason that everybody fails. Again, like apparently we have been doing this whole time.
Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
I think I've read a lot of history books. I've read a lot of theories and writings about fighting styles. But Ophi's not a fighter. So it's looking for something to be exploited, and I'm not entirely sure that it knows what exactly that would be. But it's looking for some sort of weakness, some sort of exploit, anything that they would be able to use to get the upper hand in this, because they're not convinced that they have it yet.
Sure. I'll give you one for free, but I'll also let you roll to see if we can dig a little deeper.
Okay.
So let's go insight. First roll of the game. Target number 10.
Excited. All right, let's see. Well, it's either really good or really bad. That's double 4s. So probably not great.
That constitutes as fairly bad. But it's not double
Yeah.
ones, so not a
No.
crit failure.
Forget if doubles do anything. I don't think they do anything unless you make the roll, right?
Or double ones.
Right. Not that.
Weaknesses of death. A creature that cannot, will not die. Because who is going to kill death? Death is the arbiter, the final judgment.
Jesus.
But there is one instance where it has been noted, studied to the extent that anyone can study the process of death, that when death rides in upon its steed, it is indeed unstoppable. It is a force that cannot be withstood by any means. Take that as literally as you want, considering that you have fought death and the steed before. Should they be separated, who knows what can happen. And just because I'm me and I can't help it, would you roll a d20?
I can certainly try. 14?
14. I will let you choose one person on this team, and I will send you a DM of what their current fate looks like.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, it's gotta be Cadence.
You know it's death.
Stop. It's like I can still hear her voice.
There you go.
Don't make that face.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not making a face. It's fine.
Perfect
So
reaction.
Opie's having a
Kit, thank
bad
you.
time. Opie is pacing and tightening screws a little bit too tight. There's some very angry squeaking from metal. It's not super thrilled.
I feel like if that message had simply been Cadence dies, I think Kit would have just responded with that, oh, okay. You know it's
Bet.
bad when it's a different reaction.
It's okay, listen, I can't. It's fine, guys, we got this. The message just said, look incredibly concerned.
Yeah. I will Venmo you $5 if you just really play it off.
God gives Opie lunch money to panic.
If Keen is okay with it, I think Cadence picked up on a few of Death's fighting styles and where some openings may have been during this last fight.
Sure.
So I think Cadence is kind of drilling with Sprout, kind of practicing where those openings might be and making sure that we can exploit his fighting style.
Absolutely.
Sprout was started out super on point, invested, learning, doing great, and has grown more and more distracted as time passes. I think that they have a general sense that it's like we're we're running out of time to be wasting time, is kind of how they're feeling. Even if this is important, they're having a hard time with that. I can't remember from the last episode. Do we have a general bearing on where Death is right now?
Direction
In
down
hell?
here is less important. It's more about your
Okay.
intent of where you're trying to go.
Okay.
I think Sprout catches Cadence's heel boot in the chest. You're distracted. We need to get this down.
I know that this is important, but it feels like we should just be moving.
They need a rest.
The more time that we're away from him, the more time he's got to plot and scheme and recover and whatever that looks like.
Yes, but running up to a big fight winded isn't going to do us any favors.
It's worked for us before.
We haven't fought, well, we have fought an enemy like this before, but not in hell, and that worries me.
Yeah. I can try to get eyes on him, see where he's at, if there's anything we can use to our advantage in the environment, but he's going to know as soon as I do.
Yeah, he's expecting us. He knows we're coming. There is no surprise here, so we have to just be prepared. Are you okay?
Dragged you all in on a death wish to try and save somebody who, as you all have pointed out, we all met because she was trying to kill us.
Well,
So no.
Despite my feelings towards her, you matter to us, and she matters to you. So of course we're going to support you in this. And it seems like this is where we're supposed to be. I guess not yet, but keep them guessing.
Yeah. Have you talked to Ophi? It
A
seems
little bit.
a little tense over there.
I was trying to give them a moment, but I'm gonna head over there before we go to battle.
I can take that if you want.
If you'd like, you may. She motions over towards her aunt. You may want to make peace with your relatives. Can't see who's going to walk away from this fight.
Yeah. Let's run the drill one more time, just to make sure that it's down. Cadence absolutely catches Sprout right in the chest again. But this time they're trying their best.
What's this? Confront emotions? No. I'd rather get my ass kicked.
Yep. Feels way better.
Yeah, Neladry is clearly watching this, finishing donning the rest of her armor. And when it looks like there's a little bit of a lull, or the two of you are starting to take a break, or when Cadence would go off to go check on Ophi, she would approach you.
Not great at whatever conversation is about to happen. And I'm guessing it might run in the family, so this could just be really awkward.
I was planning I had a speech in my head, but you're right. We're not very good at this.
No, we're not. And at least in my timeline, pretty much all of us are dead anyway, so I don't have to get good at it.
Same. You have great friends, allies. for them to follow you here, for you to follow them here. However it worked out.
Yeah, they're not too bad in a fight either, so.
Our family. I don't know why I'm so nervous. I mean, I've told this story so many times. We were always meant to die, all of us. Some called it a curse. Some said that it was our sacred duty, but that's why we always end up here, no matter which of us it is. But if one of us had to break that, it's you.
I mean, I'm not hopeful, but there are a lot of people who I think will be really mad at me if I die down here. So, if nothing else, fear will keep me going.
And she'll, like, reach on her back, pull out a just massive two-handed greatsword. If something happens to me, take this.
And when nothing does, are you coming back with me? Going back to your own timeline?
I don't know. I guess I'll go back. There's more war to fight.
Well, you saw the drills I was running with Cadence. It probably shouldn't be trusted with a sword that intense. Wasn't exactly going well.
I saw that you gave her our shield? You know that's ours, right?
Yeah, I will be the first to admit that I'm not the best fighter in this group, and Cadence makes a lot better use out of it than I do. She's smart with it. And, fast as she is, if she gets hit, she gets hit hard, so.
Well, you know them better than I do.
Hoop, remind me.
Mm-hmm.
Ophi's creator, was his name, we have Gathar in the notes, is that right? There's a question mark behind it, so I don't know.
As far as I know, yes.
Okay. That's what his name is now. Sprout kind of gets a little bit quiet, and there's a more probably the most assured sort of stance and tone that he has taken since all of this happened. And he says, I know that you all were traveling with Gathar for a while, and I know how that conversation happened, but if any of you share the sentiment and put Ophi in danger, you've seen what we can do, and we will not hesitate on that, so.
That's a lie. When Ophi was very little, I had the pleasure of meeting her. Been a very long time, and I had no idea what Gathar was planning. I would never sacrifice one of my own just on the off chance that maybe I would find some happiness. That's not how any of this works.
Reassuring to hear, but the point stands.
Good.
We might be blood, but Ophi's had my back since the beginning, so I'm gonna have theirs.
Good. Well, I have a few things to take care of, and she'll just like reach out and just kind of like, not hard, but just kind of like, slam a fist into about the center of your chest plate. Just a very just meant to be friendly greeting, but from the strength of someone who wields a sword that's a good 10 feet long, it can.
Grunts way harder than he should, because that's exactly where Cadence kicked him twice. So I'll probably punch the shit out of Nelendry's arm back, because now I know how strong she is. I'm not worried about it.
Haven't seen her without armor, but you can imagine.
I was gonna say Sprout then probably doesn't punch, but he probably does, because they're not very smart. So absolutely bruises their hand on the armor.
It is a family that has always shown affection through physical means, whether it's punches to the arm or anything of that sort. The message is sent across.
And yeah, Sprout thinks about checking to see proximity wise, like where Death is, what the environment around Death looks like, but stops, and we'll probably try to do that once we start moving, to get a bearing and to be prepared as best we can.
Have you looked for Mara at all since you've been here?
I think it's one of those things where Sprout has not intentionally put mind towards it, but can't really not. But there's a very genuine fear that they have dragged everybody in here for this terrible fight where everybody might die and Mara not even might be alive anymore. And so it's one of those that, like, whatever they've gotten has been, they're not trying to, but part of them just can't not worry about her.
Then I think for a very brief moment, when you kind of let that shield down and your mind starts to wander, that you do feel that she is alive.
I'll push a little bit more. Does it feel like she's in pain? Does it feel like she's conscious?
Conscious, yeah. Definitely in a state of pain, but that, like, shared connection of knowing that you're there, knowing that you're okay, and that you are on your way, it's helping. She knows that you are coming to fight.
Then I think knowing that she is still alive, Sprout kind of just lets that connection stay. Doesn't say anything, but kind of lets that hold for a couple of seconds before cutting it off.
If anyone could see through the Esper network, like you can, for a moment they'd see the two of you just sitting there, eyes closed, just existing. And why don't we jump over to Echo? Echo, what you doing? You're muted.
Echo is hanging out with his dad. Or this version of his dad.
He's
a
got
lot nicer and a lot more
so many
clingier.
stories. Oh yeah. Like,
he's a lot more clingier than my own dad, and I kind of like it, because my dad, my actual dad, doesn't really like me very much. Don't blame him. I'm not exactly a paragon, a good example of the kind of son that he wants. So,
well, this version of Francisco had his entire kingdom get reduced to rubble, his family murdered, and his people... I mean, he honestly doesn't know what happened to most of them. After the black-clad army came through, there wasn't much left. But yeah, he's he seems so excited to do the dad things of, you know, asking you like, where did you get these weapons? Cadence seems so nice, like
Cadence
making
is
sure
nice.
you're getting enough water and eating.
This is really weird, Dad. I like it though. It's weird, but I like it.
I'm glad. You Echo was my Echo was too young to ever do any of this with.
Yeah. Honestly, you seem like a lot nicer than my dad, but I think it's just because you lost me and you lost, um well, me really, because if you had me as your son, I don't think it'd be this nice. I think you had to like create a discipline, sort of like structure.
Oh,
You
hey,
would have come
hold on.
out exactly like my dad
Hold
is.
on. I Yes, I like some discipline and structure, but that doesn't mean that I wouldn't like you as a son.
Okay, is okay, I just want to know. In your version of our world, how do we become king?
I have to die.
Right, but how does the next king become a king?
Well, it's your birthright.
Oh, so we don't do the killing the other rival family and become king. Like we don't do
What?
like this weird Hunger Games. Oh, okay, so it's a much nicer land. Cool. That's an interesting. I wish we had that. Yeah, it's
Your
unfortunate that your world was the one that was destroyed and not my world, because my world kind of sucks.
your version of me sounds like a dick.
Yeah. Yeah. But also, it's like the family thing. Like, it's been generations and generations and generations of just kings murdering each other, you know? So, kind of don't blame my world, but I feel like your world, it's just like the normal thing that other kingdoms do, where it's just passed on to somebody without any
Yes.
killing involved. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's disappointing to hear.
Yeah.
When you survive and you go back home, you can change things.
Sure. Cause, yeah, absolutely. We will try to change the thing, because I am the king now, with
Is
everything that
is
entails.
is Cadence are you
The love of my life? Yes.
okay? And she's going to be queen.
I hadn't thought of that. I guess you could say that. Yeah, absolutely. If we Oh. Which means I have to. But if we die here,
And what? No one's gonna die
and then
here.
just starts looking for like something in his pockets. Ah, damn it. Do you know if hell has like a jewelry store or something?
I don't imagine it does. But he'll like reach down under his breastplate, pull up this golden chain, and there's a pair of rings on it. He'll just like pull it so the chain just, breaks from the back of his neck, and he'll hand it over.
This is this yours and the version of the mother that I have?
Those
Uh,
are
it
mine and your mother's rings, yes.
right, right.
I don't want to hear it. You are
Oh no,
the king.
I was totally gonna accept it.
Good.
Thank you very, very much. because I you see, I am really desperate for your love, if you can't tell. So I want to do stuff that makes you happy, Dad. Because I don't have a good dad, as I told you.
Well, I can
So
tell you that from the very little I know of you, from everything we've talked about, I am proud of you.
there's like a heart, like something grabs Echo's heart. It's like, oh, wait, no one's ever said that. So,
Your
cool.
father,
Can you do that again?
your father is an idiot. He can't see how great you are.
Just different expectations. But you know what? Having seen you say that you're proud of me is what is gift enough. Yeah. It is a wonderful gift.
You
Indeed.
take so much after your mother. And I mean that in the best way.
Yeah. I'm glad that I take more after mom, the good mom, than the mom that I have. Do you
She,
think we could have been switched at birth at all? Like maybe the echo of your world didn't actually die, just sort of got like sucked into the other world. And because I feel like I'm more related to you than my version of the world. Do you think that there's a maybe we can explore that? Maybe if we all survive this, we can explore that option because nothing would give me greater pleasure than to look at both of my parents and say, hey, guess what? I'm adopted.
well, when we both walk out of here, we'll see what we can do. He'll,
Awesome. Thank you.
he'll get up and kind of, stretch out, hold a hand out, and that just beautiful golden trident kind of just materializes out of the air before he slams it on the ground.
Very nice.
We have a war to win first.
Yep. Well, thanks for the rings, Dad. I will. I mean, Mr. Freds. I mean, Dad. Thanks for the
Let's
rings, Dad. It'll be great. Yeah,
let's stick with Dad.
yeah. We will. Yeah. I'm gonna go over there, and I'm not gonna do like anything stupid, like cry about like my lost childhood or anything. I'm just gonna go stand over there for like 2 seconds. You can't follow me, and then just like walks away and stands and looks out the hills or whatever. Is the view in hell?
Yeah, not that anyone else would notice you going off to definitely just go and be super manly and just go stare off into the
Absolutely.
abyss.
There's no tears coming out of
No.
here.
Uh, Also, no one would probably notice Francisco going off, kind of slipping away from the rest of the camp, and oddly, the same direction that Neladry slipped off.
Hmm.
Coincidence, pure coincidence.
Hmm.
But Cadence, you wanted to go and check on Ophi.
Yes, check on Ophi and then Echo right after that because we all may die.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Cadence approaches Ophi and kind of watches you said Ophi's pacing?
Yeah, yeah, sort of doing a very blocky loop. Um, just sort of fiddling with their own being.
Cadence would probably see the alternate version of Zariel just sitting up, like on some rubble, just staring down, watching Ophi pace.
I think you can probably tell you've seen Ophi use the eye before. So you can tell that like the one eye that's open is not robotic. It's probably not difficult to see what's going on.
Yeah, Cadence watches the pacing for a few moments. Are you okay? You look like you've seen something.
Yes, I was just trying to get a read on the fight that we will have. Is everything all right?
Yeah, I know that you're not used to kind of this life. Our odds of walking away from this fight without casualties are pretty low. And I just want to remind you that my other best friend is waiting for you to come back. Don't be a martyr in this fight. If we fail here, some of us have to survive to start another attempt.
Then you must promise me the same thing, Miss Cadence. You have a sister who is waiting for you. Friends.
Yes, but she has Tanya. Most of the people I think who would miss me, aside from her, are here in this group. So, I have a lot of enemies in our world. And I think more people would be happy to see me dead than otherwise.
Does that negate those that would rather see you alive? Does that want not matter? Just because they have other people to want alive as well?
It does matter, but in situations like this, we do not always have a choice.
Not always. But if we do, that is what we can control. That is what you're asking of me. I do not want to see you fall here, Cadence.
If I fall, I'm sure Nola will get me back up, or somebody will.
I still do
How are
not
you?
want to see it happen.
Well, I don't either. I feel like for once I can see a little bit further past tomorrow, she says with kind of a glance towards Echo. So I would really like to see what that's like. But I also understand my job. I've long accepted that I am not going to die of old age. It is going to be by somebody else's blade, and that is just the life I was given.
Would you give it back? If we make it out of this, and you have the chance to do something else, will you?
I am tired of being the shadow that everyone fears. I would like to give something positive back rather than the death that I've given so far. But this life is difficult to escape, so I don't know what that would look like.
I hear hell is difficult to escape as well, but we plan to do that, yes?
If we can. How are you holding up?
Sort of glance down at their physical form. I am doing all right.
Emotionally? After everything that... I've already forgotten his name, I apologize. Your purported maker, after everything he said, everything he was planning to do. Were you holding up?
I have been curious for a long time what my purpose was. I knew what I had been instructed to do since, but people have been cagey about the exact nature of my creation, and it is good to know that there was purpose behind it. It is a little sad that I may not be able to fulfill that purpose, but if anyone can find another way, I think it will be us.
Take it from somebody who is trapped in a purpose that they were raised to do. Find one yourself. Doesn't matter what intention they had when they created you. The moment you were born, that became a moot point. Your purpose is whatever you make it. It doesn't have to be what anybody else wanted.
I think I have found one.
That purpose isn't martyrdom, right?
As I have heard it said before, I won't if you won't.
That is not my intention.
Then let's both walk out of this. Together, yes?
Okay. I'm gonna go check on Echo before we get started.
Of course. Miss Cadence?
Yeah.
Ophi is going to wrap Cadence up in a hug.
Keaton squeezes back very hard.
Creaking metal.
Mhm. Well, yeah, it's armor against metal. It's great.
Yeah, it's just kind of Sonic hell to go with the sort of ambient hell that we've...
If you're looking for the one that you called Echo, you went that way. From up above, you hear Zariel's voice.
Thank you.
No problem.
I know you're not my Zariel, but try to survive this.
Now that you've said that... What, do you think that they can catch me? I'll be fine.
I'm counting on it.
Is that a challenge? Wings.
You already know that I'm so much faster than you.
Maybe in your timeline.
Well, when we both survive, I'll race you.
Deal.
And, yeah. Cadence, if you'd like, you can go track down Echo. Who was definitely being very manly and stoic and...
Very manly standing over there.
Very kingly.
It's just like looking up, you know, not fighting tears at all. And it's just like, yeah, totally fine. Yeah, this is great. I am fine.
Terrible
is
day
what,
for rain.
Echo's saying. Yep. Oh, it's not the heat that gets you in hell, it's the humidity.
Cadence approaches and just kind of quietly kind of lays her head over on Echo's shoulder.
There's a big sniff and just sort of like leans his head and just sort of melt into Cadence as well. Hey.
One of us needs to survive this. If this all goes to shit.
How about instead of one of us, both of us.
If possible. But the others, they're all set on being heroes. They're all set on seeing this through.
Do not worry, because I am not a hero. I am here to make sure all of us survive. Selfishly, I want every single one of us to survive. I will be selfish in that I want to survive too. And I want you to survive. I want Ophi to survive. I want Sprout to survive. I even kind of want my dad from like this world to survive. I don't know whether I can do the whole like Indiana Jones change thing. That's definitely not something I'm thinking about. But at least us. I want us to survive.
But
No buts.
I need you to promise me that you're going to disappear if everything else fails. Nobody else is going to. Somebody has to go back and finish this.
Instead of saying I promise, Echo is going to, with your permission, just lean and kiss you. Cool. Doesn't say anything, just leans, kisses you, and then leans back and smiles. Together. Okay?
Okay.
Good. The world will know. Don't worry.
I think Hayden's
And
just
then-
kind of
There's a quick like panicking. Suddenly he's just tapping his clothes and then like taps one side and takes a deep breath. Anyway, yeah, totally fine. Yeah, together. It's and then puts his hands into that pocket and is just like, absolutely together. Yeah, and just sort of like leans into you, smiling like an idiot.
Cadence stays in that embrace, I think, just quietly until everyone else is ready to go.
Okay. Your 4 others, the other companions from the timeline that you all managed to avoid, would gather, all just looking at each other, not quite having the same heartfelt moments. It seems like they've had too many opportunities for those heartfelt moments, and they already know what the others are going to say, and they're just ready. But Neladry reaches down, grabs the helmet that Sprout you've probably seen in paintings in your family's estate. You definitely saw it in the library, but dons the silver and gold helmet with the golden plume that flows behind. One way or another, let's go finish this. Now, if stories from our family are anything to go off of, there's going to be an army between us and death.
Sounds about right.
So, since we're a little more worn out, beaten, and bruised than the 4 of you, why don't we take the army of infinite undead minions and clear a path for you to go in this?
Are you confident that's the better choice for you all? Infinite undead minions just sounds a little questionable on your survival rate.
She's gonna walk up and, very gently kind of like grab the front of your armor, just pull the 2 of you forehead to forehead. I'm here for one reason. So are you. Stop being an idiot and go do it. It just kind of like shoves you away.
Before we all march very confidently to our deaths, Sprout pulls out the etching that they took of that spell that we need for little Ophi, and I'm gonna show it to Neladry. Do you know anything about this?
Some of the symbols look familiar. Why?
I think it's how we can get Ophi out of her. The other one, the little one. How we can get her out of being trapped in that room all the time.
Can I have that?
Please.
I mean, all these sigils they're doable. I don't know what's gonna happen if I do this, but I don't see why I couldn't cast it.
Let's wait until death is handled.
Sure.
I just worry that it will. This is probably a silly concern, but I don't want it to drag her here for whatever reason. She's not a fan of that guy, so.
Probably a good call.
And I'll take it back and put it in my pocket and start walking.
The 8 of you in that slow motion camera panning action shot, marching through hell, dark dust kicking up under every footstep, and it pans around to what you can see is just infinite black void starting to take shape into this landscape. Obsidian spikes jutting up out of the ground like teeth. Rivers of what looks like lava, but somehow darker and hotter. And eventually, at what looks almost like a row of council seats, all empty, save for one in the middle. It same black-clad armor that you met on the first day that you all came together. He just sits and waits at the base of that massive stone platform, bound in chains, collapsed to the ground, is Mara. And it's impossible to tell from this distance. But if anyone could see that far, there would be a very slight smile on her face. We have a hell of a fight ahead of us, so why don't we take a slightly early break?
Woohoo!
Give everyone a chance to prepare yourselves, shake out the cobwebs, go over your sheets, and...
You know it's bad when they give you a save point before the fight.
There's a room with just like 20 potions in it.
Does that mean I get my IP back? Hold on.
If you asked, you could probably have gotten IP back from Zariel.
I was kidding, but I'll take it. Holy shit.
Yeah. Surely she doesn't
Like
need
a
it.
gift potion in the mouth. Hey, hold up. Hey now.
But
It's not our Zariel. It's
yeah,
fine.
it's fine.
They're all my Zariel, damn it. I have 2 hands. I can make more.
We'll be right back. And welcome back. Where we left off, we had approached death. The endless horde of demons can be seen like a living carpet just crawling, pulling themselves across the ground through the sky. A horde that you're fairly certain that your companions might be able to keep off your backs, but not forever. On the proper boss music here. Yeah, that's the good stuff. That's what I'm playing. Sent it to all of you in case you wanted to hear. So, let's roll up some initiative.
For the people who haven't, watched us in such a long time, how does one
Folks at
roll
home.
initiative? Just for them, not for me. I know how to do it.
Yeah,
I
clearly. Your dexterity plus
Well, who
your insight.
Oh.
Absolutely.
I should roll for my instability quick before I forget.
Oh, yes, good point.
I had a
That's fine.
boost to my dexterity, and I don't remember what it was from. Is that something that's static? Was that an effect?
I know that Inala can buff a stat per scene.
Okay. That must have been what it was.
Either that or it was Re.
Oh, wait, no, that's correct. I'm sorry. I forgot what my stats were. That is correct.
14.
14. Echo.
For 15 for me.
15, as we
I
expect.
do math, I promise.
Ophi?
6.
6. All is right in the world.
Can't commit war crimes if they never get me on the field. It's fine.
No, it gives you time to assess the situation partway through the
Yeah.
first round and then make a choice. We can't all go first. Then we can't react.
I appreciate you trying to make me feel better about my chicken shit little robot. You have to remember, I started this year teaching kindergarten. So,
Well, Cadence, I assume that we have some pre-initiative shenanigans.
We do indeed. I'm assuming we're engaging death. We're able to reach him, them.
The four of you are standing at the foot of that stone pillar where he just steps off, comes crashing to the ground, pulling out that scythe.
Yeah. As he's crashing to the ground and reaching for his scythe, Cadence's snake familiar kind of winds up her shoulder and then kind of disappears in a puff of kind of black silt and surrounds her. And I'm going to half the cost of stolen time. So as he's
Absolutely.
pulling out his scythe, Cadence is there with the sword, with Starshine. So that is 5 MP for that. That is an 18.
18 definitely hits.
Amazing. So that is going to be, 19. One of these days I'm going to remember the Starshine gives a +1. I'm assuming he has no status effects yet.
No.
So that's going to be 20 points of light damage. That ignores resistance.
You'd love to see it. No resistances to speak of. Just takes the 20.
So yeah, he's halfway pulled out the scythe, and Cadence is there in a blur, sword into his side.
Kind of leans down towards you. do this dance again and again and again. When will you learn?
Well, it's apparently not me doing it, so I guess never.
Well, top of initiative is you. You are in his face, blade jammed up through the rib cage.
Absolutely. Without Sprite here, I don't know if I should breach. I mean, I'm going to breach, taking that sword and just pulling it to the side instead of out, sideways, out of the wound. I'm going to breach. That is, again, a 19, but that's double nines.
Definitely beats, and that's an opportunity.
Let me remind myself real quick. I definitely remember what opportunities
Yeah.
are at this point. After we've played this game for a year. Ooh.
You have. I didn't have
What?
my son when we started playing, and now he's turning 1.
Amazing. Enola can inflict dazed and weak.
Torpor, slow or weak.
Slow or weak. Okay. I'm going to do affliction then with my opportunity. And I'm going to inflict shaken.
Shaken. So willpower
and
is
as
reduced.
part of breach, since our other heavy hitter is not in the fight. Would you all rather I give you bonus or I hit really hard? Do you all want bonus damage? Is everyone going into this fighting to do damage, or are you all going for status effects is the big question.
I mean, I'm just gonna use my plain old rapier to just stabby him. It's not a lot of power, but that's what I'm gonna be doing.
I'm also going to be hitting a lot.
Yeah, with if we had one more person, it'd be worth it for that. I'm instead going to deal the extra damage.
I do get extra damage with 1 or more status effects on anybody, so that's pretty cool.
He has 1 status. Okay, sorry, I got a lot of math to do. It is 9 plus. $34 points of light damage, right? No, 44 points of light damage.
Got it.
As she, after stabbing in, pulls it out sideways, ripping the wound open.
Leaves a trail
Sorry.
of starlight behind it that just scorches at the armor and what's underneath.
That golden fire that Ophi added to the blade.
Anything
That's
else?
it for me.
Okay. Yeah, it's over to Echo.
I'm gonna go and stand next to my fiance to be. I haven't proposed yet, but it will happen. And I will stab him right, or at least try to stab him right where Cadence. I keep saying anyway. Right next to where Cadence stabbed him. I'm gonna try to stab in that same hole.
Yeah.
Just to see if it'll go through, because I know my rapier isn't magical. I'm just gonna be like stab wherever there's already an existing hole.
Sure.
And then let me just roll my stuff. That is Dex and Might, which is not bad actually. Dex does a 14 hit.
By a lot. That hits.
Sweet. It hits him, and I will also be using Cheap Shot. And he has let me just roll my original damage. So high is 9 plus 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 plus 18 and 1 status effect, so 19 altogether.
19. That's physical, I assume.
Yeah, it's all physical.
You got it.
Let's get physical.
Just hacking away at that weak spot in the armor again and again.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
Oh no, that's it. That's all
Okay.
Echo can do.
That brings us down.
Actually, let me just see. You deal damage. Oh, how do you create a bond against debt? Like, is it too late to do that right now? Kind of want to create a bond right now with him.
You would need an opportunity. So you'd need a crit.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. I will work on getting that.
We are down to Death, who has just kind of been taking blow after blow. That scythe now just blade first hits the ground, turns, and is going to sweep upwards. It is multi 2, so we can hit both of you with it. There you are. So against Cadence, that is a 14 against your defense.
It just hits me.
For 20 points of dark damage, down to 10 because of resistance.
Okay, nice.
And you are shaken.
No,
You
I'm
can't
not.
be because you're immune to conditions. And against Echo, that is a 1 and a 10, so a 13.
It does hit.
Highest was a 10, so 20 points of dark damage reduced down to 10 because of resistance.
Sweet.
And you are shaken.
Not stirred.
Just kind of the moment where he flicks that wrist and the scythe fully whips around the blade towards both of you and just rips upwards. Both of you now have a reaped clock.
I'm immune to that as well. That's how it worked in the last fight. Because it's a status.
That's true. So just Echo.
Whoop, whoop.
Well, that is Death's turn done. That scythe comes back to rest. Still looms over you.
Wait. He rolled a 14.
He did.
As he cuts up, Starshine's going to follow his blade up underneath.
Yeah.
As a counterattack. 13 to hit.
By a lot that hits.
Okay. High roll on counterattacks count as 0, so that is 10 points of light damage.
10. Taking a good chunk of damage so far. But yeah, that's him done. We are over to Death's horse, who is going to scream from the sky, come swooping down, and we are going to let out a cry of death. So until the steed's next turn, every one of you has a -1 accuracy on all of your attack rolls, and Death has a +1 accuracy.
Cool.
Or be 20 mana cost. And then continues to just swoop from above. That brings us over to Ophi.
Okay. All right. Well, now we have a fool in the air. So I should probably take care of that. I think Ophi, sort of from behind these other two who have already run up and started hitting things, Ophi just gets a running start and jumps into the air, and the wings come out, and they are on fire. Of course they are. And just starts, I guess, circling with the horse, because it does take an action to do this. And a third of my hit points. Don't worry about it. I'm fine. But I am now airborne, and I'm about to make that everyone's problem. But it is an action, so I think that might be all I can do.
But you are going to engage.
I'm certainly up there. I have to do some quick math because my hit points do not go easily into 3.
All
I
right.
think honestly just trying to distract this horse. Like, I'm trying to be the shiny thing in front of him.
That's going to bring us back to Death, who is, after bringing that scythe through the two of you, looking down at Cadence. Interesting. And then over at Echo, we are going to Soul Leech.
Sweet.
Which is a... not great, but it's a D6 and a D10. 11, 12, 13 against your willpower, Echo.
My willpower?
Yeah.
So I roll a d8?
No.
correct?
It just, whatever your...
Just an 8.
8, so yeah.
It's just an 8. Yeah.
So you're going to take 17 points of dark damage and gain the weak condition.
17 is that half dark?
17 down to 8.
Awesome.
And
And what do I get? What other condition do I get?
weak. So you're now weak and shaken.
Cool, cool, cool.
So your might die and your willpower die should both be reduced down in size.
Cool.
And
It is both now at the lowest. D6 is the lowest, correct?
yep. Boss Boy is going to heal a little bit. We'll be back over to you, which would be Sprout, who is going to just take off towards Mara, towards that cage and those chains, trying to just rip them off and free her. It's just enemies left to go, so we're gonna go with the horse again, who is gonna kick Ophi with its big old undead horse hooves.
Okay. It can certainly try.
D8 plus a D10. 9, 10, 11 to hit your defense.
Physical defense? Yeah, that'll hit.
And it is 18 points of physical damage.
Perfect. Thank you.
Are you in crisis?
I am. Thank you for asking.
You
Excellent.
get a free death glare for hitting crisis for the first time.
I was gonna say in the fight.
In this fight,
I've
yeah.
been bad off so many times.
That is a D10 plus a D10. 10 plus 1. 13 against your magic defense.
We got a +1 to that.
Everyone has
from
plus
the
1 to your
thing,
magic
right?
defense, yep.
Meets it.
So unfortunately, you're going to lose half of your MP.
My MP?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. Okay. Who needs MP?
That's it for the horse again. You do all have Enola. What spell would you like cast this round? As there's just a little just portal that rips itself open, and you can hear Enola's voice asking, "How can I help?"
I mean, hurt him, right?
Either hurt him.
We don't have
or-
any hurting spells.
Okay.
Condition spells,
He's
right?
weak. He's weak to light damage, right?
He did not seem to be weak to light damage here.
Of course not. So giving that to Echo probably wouldn't help.
She can do conditions, right?
You can.
Mm-hmm. Probably that, yeah.
Probably that.
All right. Well, we will give slow or weak. Your choice.
Weak? No. He's pretty easy to hit.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah, but what is he using to hit us?
Great question.
Probably might.
So weak it is.
Weak?
Yeah, because I know I can
Right
also
now.
inflict weak. Or slow. I think a bunch of us can inflict slow. So if she does weak, that helps at least.
We'll throw a weak on the horse too.
Hell yeah.
All right. That is Enola done. Death has but another turn because you all roll so much higher than him in initiative. And it worked so well the first time that we're just going to come back with the scythe and continue just to hack at both of you in these wide sweeping arcs. We're now down to a D10 and a D6. Nope, D10 and a D10. So against Cadence, it's a 2, 6, 7, 8 to hit.
Not even close.
And against Echo,
Barely above half.
that's a 9, plus a 5, a 14, 15, 16 to hit Echo.
Sure, it absolutely hits.
That is 19 points of dark damage reduced down to 8. And your clock is increased by 1.
Sorry, what was his attack
I am
to hit me?
in crisis.
7, I think.
Oh, if it was 7, that's odd. Sorry, I thought you said an even number.
I might have.
Never mind.
You did.
Let's assume I did.
There was an even number there.
Okay, countered.
Yeah.
15.
15 definitely hits.
That's another 10 points of light damage.
And
As he slashes out at Echo, she cuts Starshine up under his arm.
two of you are just getting battered back and then slashing back at him, just this back and forth. In this dance almost in front of this empty coliseum of seats. Why do you bother? This only ends one way. The two of you could take this time to say goodbye, rather than die, hurting and alone.
We've already said goodbye. We're trying to shake things up this time.
All right. Horse has gone twice. He has gone 3 times. That is it. That is the end of the first round. Now I need everyone to make a choice. You can either take 5 points of fire damage, or you can have a -1 accuracy on all of your checks for the round. You either have to endure the flames or try and hold them back, hampering your own offensive abilities.
His
I
defense
will
is very.
I will do the accuracy because his defense doesn't seem like
So
shit.
-1.
So I'll do that.
Same.
Well, so technically you both are at -2 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it stacks.
Oh yeah, 2 different abilities.
Are these permanent or?
Well, you know the one from the horse goes away this the
Okay.
next round.
Okay.
OP. Fire damage. Reduce accuracy. You are muted.
Mhm.
I think I'm gonna have to go accuracy. I could do something really dumb, but it would leave me very low on hit points and people would get angry. I'll do that next time.
You
It's fine.
got it. All of you should be at -2 accuracy for the round. Cadence. That brings us to you.
As she says, yeah, as she says that they're trying to shake it up this time. So I was rereading Breach. They rewrote it and it
Mhm.
changed it a bunch. I was just making sure I'm doing it right. As she said that we're trying to shake it up this time, she shoves the top of the shield up into his chin and slashes down at his
Oof.
legs. And that is with a -2 in 18 because that's double tens.
Holy shit.
It definitely beats his defense, which is considerably lower than that. And you get an opportunity.
Echo has 2
Yes. 2 out of 4.
ticks on their clock. I will erase their 2 sections. Just with a very affectionate kind of shoulder bump as she slashes down, giving Echo that support. I'm going to erase the 2 sections on their clock. Doing math again. He has 2 status effects currently.
It feels mean to not say this because after you hit, you expect, that spell went off. You know what it's like when they're under a weakened effect. He doesn't seem to be under that, as if he were immune to being weakened.
Good to know. Good to know. So he's under 1 then.
He is under 1, shaken.
Cool. That's 45 points of light damage.
You got it. Not
And that is my turn.
not bad. Taking a solid chunk of damage.
Gotta do it before I go down.
That brings us to Echo.
Cool. I'm going to stab him in the multiple areas where there's a
Absolutely.
hole already made. That's what I'm going to
Every
do.
time Cadence steps
And-
back from a strike, you are right there to continue that pressure, giving each other just a moment to breathe.
Absolutely.
forth.
Let me just pull up my thing here. That is a 17 to hit.
Hits by so much.
-2. Yeah. And then
As you can tell, his
let me
defense
see
not
here.
very high.
Nope, which is great. So let me see. It's 17, 10 plus 16 physical damage, and then I use cheap shot. 20. How many status effects does he have?
Just one.
21 physical damage.
On top of
No, that's the total.
total. Gotcha.
Yeah.
You
Cool.
got it. Again, just
Is it a free action to speak?
Please do.
Absolutely sweet. So as Cadence sort of like bumps into me, shoulder bumps, and sort of makes me feel more grounded and whatever. After he stabs Death, he sort of holds Cadence's hands, or one that's available if there is one, and tries to like spin out, and is sort of behind, is now behind Death. Doesn't really, it's more of just like a move. It's not really a movement, it's just for show, just sort of like moving around Death, spinning around Death kind of situation.
Almost dance like if we weren't fighting.
Yeah.
Life.
It's basically a mocking move. Echo is hurt, but he's like, I'm not hurt. I'm totally fine. Look at me. I'm dancing. It's a action to mock.
Absolutely. And it will not go unnoticed, I promise you.
That's all right.
We are going to Soul Leech on Death's turn into Echo again. And that is a
Wasn't that
D6 plus a D8. Uh, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 against your magic defense.
it hits.
You have 2 conditions on you.
Yes, I do.
So that is 36 points of dark damage reduced down to 18.
Well, just so everybody knows, I am in single digits now of health.
So for the first time that you hit Crisis this fight, you get a Death Glare, which is just D6 plus D6. 6, of course. 10, 12 against your magic defense, which we know hits, so you lose half of your MP.
Sure. Not that it matters. I don't really use them. You can have them. It's okay.
Take my
I have
MP.
magic. Take it. I'll use it. You can have that all you want.
As Echo was dancing around in this almost mocking fashion, that helmet just turns, glancing where Echo's about to step, and it's just a shooting pain that just rips through his body, causing just a momentary misstep before Echo recomposes himself. Echo's not looking great.
Says who? I'm fine. I'm totally great.
That brings us to Death's Pale Steed, who is going to cast Accelerate on the big boss. It means that Death will get to use a single action on anyone else's turn other than his own, of his choice. And that's it. Horse is done, is continuing to just fly around circles, trying to kick you out of the air. It would be an almost humorous fight if your friends weren't dying. That brings us then down to Ophi, unless you want Enola to go first.
I mean, if Enola wants to go first, I don't mind.
You can definitely cast out some healing.
That might be good. Just based on where everybody's sort of at.
How many people would like 40 points of healing?
Love some 40 points of healing.
Is it MP cost per person
Per
or
person,
just like, okay, yeah, then I don't need it yet.
So we'll mark off 20 MP. And Ophi and Echo, each of you gain 40 hit points.
Sweet.
I don't know that I can hold that many hit points. Am I allowed an overage? Is that...
There is a magic item that if you overheal, it gets immediately transferred into MP.
Hey, that would slap. Not
It's
that
a-
I'd use MP for
It's an
anything.
artifact, but it does exist.
You learn something new every day.
Again, that rift just tears itself open, and there's a pouring out of healing magic from Enola. And for the two of you that are healed, close enough to this rift, it sounds like Ignisareth and Enola might have problems of their own.
Oh no.
But that would bring us back to Death for his second turn. Looking and watching Echo immediately get, restored back to full health, is going to just let out this grunt, grip that scythe, and just take another swing at the two of you. D12 plus a D12. It's a 6 is against Cadence. 6 and a 7 is 13. 15 to hit.
15 will hit me.
Highest was a 7, so 17 points of dark damage reduced down to 8.
Okay.
And against Echo, of course it's a 10. And an 8, so a 20 to hit Echo.
Absolutely, it hits.
Or 20 points of dark damage reduced down to 10.
Cool.
And your clock is back up.
Sweet.
That it? That's it. This is done. We're down to Ophi.
I'm gonna do something goofy.
Yeah.
So
Silly time.
I'm just doing a little goofy, silly move. Don't worry about it. So sort of in this sort of flying dance around with this horse, Ophi's just gonna get on the horse. Ophi's just gonna sit down on this horse. And then because now I don't need wings to fly, I have horse. These flaming wings are going to wrap around, one around the midsection of the horse and one around the neck. And I would like to hit him that way. Technically unarmed because these are wings.
I think this is how you become Dash. You just steal his horse.
I am become Death Destroyer of Horse.
To put some mechanical spin on that, how do you feel about neither of you being able to target anyone on the ground? The two of you are so entangled that you must target each other.
That makes sense, at least for now.
Until you let go.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I do have arms, but they're in. Probably. But I do want to burn this guy with fire, though.
Yeah.
This don't get it twisted. This is an attack.
Oh, I figured. Go for it.
Let's see. Oh, okay, that's double sixes. Does a 12 hit?
12 just hits.
Okay. Hell yeah, I'll take it. And then that is high roll plus 14 is 20 points of fire damage.
Fire damage.
I believe it's just fire.
Reduced down to 10.
Oh. Interesting. Beans. Okay. I can't do my fun thing.
But you have
but I can do a different fun thing.
The Pale Steed from being able to continuously buff death.
Okay. Well, I'm going to use that double, though, to do my fun thing anyways.
Yeah.
Because normally if I do a bunch of damage with fire, then he's going to suffer a condition. I'm going to give him a condition anyways. Because just out of spite, I guess. Let's see, what's good for a horse?
He already has weak.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll slow him down then.
Sure. Slow and weak.
I can do that. Now he's a slow horse. Well, that makes sense because now he's got a rider. That just makes
True.
sense. He'd be a little slow. Yeah. And he's on fire. If he wasn't already.
The two of you are just a blazing star in the sky. All right. That'll bring us back to the horse, who's just gonna bite you. Like,
You can try.
we are reduced down to a D8 and a D6. Brutal. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 against your defense.
Just barely, yeah.
High die is a 5. So 15 points of physical damage.
Physical? Damn. Why does he do physical damage?
He's just
Yeah,
biting
that's
you.
fine. That's fine. Yeah, but he's like a fancy magic horse. I don't know. I expected him to do fancy magic horse damage.
Well, if you capture him and tame him, then you can train him to do fancy horse damage.
Oh man, this is where OP becomes a horse girl. I knew it. Season 2. It's the Hallmark film.
Well, that is the horse done with its second turn. We're just left to death for its final turn. And I mean, Echo still has the 2 conditions. You might as well soul leech again. No reason not to.
Sure.
Which is a D6 and a D10. That's a D12. There we go. 7, 8, 9, 10 against your magic defense.
It hits.
And high dice with a 7, so that is 37 points of dark down to 18.
Sweet. Cool.
Death looks at you, holds out a hand, and the closer the hand gets to you, the colder everything starts to feel. But that is us for round 2. Again, need everyone to choose either -1 accuracy or 5 points of fire damage.
Give me the damage.
5 points of fire damage.
Is this
And
going to
I'm-
stack?
With the first round, yes. So if you take it, you'll be at -2 accuracy. Because the horse's effect is gone.
I am gonna
I
do.
thought it's just for that
Horse speed.
round.
For the horse's effect, yes. For the overall effect of the battle, it is cumulative.
I see. Let's do it.
So you're at
Minus
-2.
two.
Not that it's mattered, because his defense is crazy low.
Yeah, I'll take the accuracy -1 as well.
-2. Ophi is taking
I'm
5
gonna-
fire damage.
I'm actually gonna take 15 real quick because then I can use my ectasis to gain resistance to that type of damage.
Oh. Okay.
So
I see you. So
I never
you...
get to use this one
Does it count for that instance of damage? Or...
until
just-
I use the skill again.
So all moving forward and that one instance of damage.
It doesn't oh no, after you lose hit points due to damage.
Okay, so not against that, but against every
not
bit of
against
fire
that.
damage going forward.
Yeah, so I take 15 right now. But in the future, I am resistant to fire.
You got it. Top of the round is Cadence. You have done serious damage to him, but he has also inflicted serious damage back.
That's the name of the game. We're frontliners. That's what we do. Yeah, he's focusing a lot on Echo.
It seems
think
with
in this-
every scythe strike towards the two of you, every time he can get you back on your heels, he uses that moment to continuously just drain the life out of Echo.
Yeah. This time as he turns, I think Cadence kind of kicks sideways towards his knee. Kicks his knee sideways and then tries to stab down into his thigh. Wow. That is quite good. These dice are being very kind to me tonight. I'm doing math. It's a -2, and I have a +1. That is 18 total.
18 beats the defense by a lot. Not hard to hit.
So with breach, that is doing math. That is how many status effects does he have?
Just the one, shaken.
He has 40 plus 5 is 45 points of light damage.
45. He is officially in crisis.
Nice.
Like the entire plate of armor around the leg is just sliced through and just comes clattering to the ground.
It's a mistake taking your eyes off of me.
I'll take more than that. I swear it. Echo. Oh, sorry. Not Echo. He is going to use his accelerated action on Cadence's turn.
Sweet.
And we are going to curse Echo. What conditions do you have at the moment?
I have shaken and weak.
You now have slow and dazed as well.
Wait.
That means that if you get hit by Soul Leech, it'll do high die plus 40 damage.
Cool.
Now, Echo, it is your turn.
I have no idea how safety is for my character. And I will play him like I stole him.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to do the same thing that I've done all this time. And let's see. I'm going to attack him with my D8 and now D6. Let me just pull that up. Haha! That is a 12.
With
No. That's 6 and 8.
so
14.
14
Sorry.
minus 2 down to 12.
Yes.
Which-
Well, yeah, still.
Hits by a lot.
Awesome. How many status does he have?
Just one.
Just the one. So it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, 17 physical damage.
You got it. He has taken.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Never mind. It's Soul Leech, not Soul Steal. I was like, you've been doing an action that's named the same as my action. Why can't I do that? Never mind. I was looking at a different thing.
That's when you get to cut off a piece of their soul and tuck it away in your backpack.
I'm so tempted to soul steal on him because I'm sure
Yes.
whatever he has is amazing.
Yeah.
But I also don't want us to die because I didn't do damage for a turn.
So that is, I believe, all I can do.
Well, as you leap forward, blade jabbing down through the armor, lightning fast, he's going to reach up and just catch you. Blade still stuck in his rib cage, because it is his turn. And he is going to Soul Leech. It is still a D6 plus a D8. That is 9 against your magic defense.
It does not hit.
I'm going to spend an Ultima point to
It-
re-roll that.
Okay.
I'm gonna spend a
Oops, said
fabulous
no
point
to
to
gay
say
love.
no.
That is
Who
a
said no to gay love this Pride Month?
7 plus 2 plus 2 for an 11.
Get in the comments.
Let me see. What am I gonna do? Can I?
and we have a +1 to magic defense from our boon.
I'm trying to see like if there's the Fabula. I don't think there's anything. Well, I can spend 1 Fabula point to alter the story. I don't know if I can use that.
In combat, not so much.
Ah, well. Alright, cool. Well, it does hit, correct.
So that is 47 points of dark damage.
Sure.
Down to 23.
Sure, it's 0.
I have been given full permission from Tay to use every bit of power that Enola has at her disposal, and is going to drop 40 MP to emergency cast Mercy on you. The first time that the target would be reduced down to 0 hit points, they are instead left standing with exactly 1 hit point. And the spell ends.
Sweet. Cool. Well, I have
There's-
1. That's great.
A distressed, "Oh, please don't die." And that portal rips open for just a moment and then closes back up as the distant sound of a roaring dragon can be heard before that portal seals again.
While Death is looking at me and I almost die, I look at him and I go, "I'm like a cockroach, buddy." Cockroach? Yeah, I'm like a cockroach, buddy. Not coke. I don't know what that is. I'm a
You-
cockroach.
You're all cockroaches to me. And is gonna
Yeah,
just
well,
let
you
you
look
drop
down
to the
on
ground.
cockroaches and they last forever, don't they? Echo is not saying this out loud. Echo is in feverish mode and is thinking that he is speaking out loud when he is not. And in his head, he is just talking But of course, Death can't hear it because he's not actually talking out loud.
You got it. That brings us to the Pale Steed, who is... I mean, you're doing a great job of keeping it distracted.
He's getting a hug. What's not to love? I can fix him.
We have so many like AoE and buffing spells that don't matter right now.
He's a good horse under there. I can fix him, Daddy. I promise.
We're just gonna use Mind Theft, which is kind of a waste because you're the only target that can be hit, but it's fine.
Do I really have a mind? It could be argued.
A D8 plus a D8. 8. 8 plus 2. So 12 against your magic defense.
No.
How dare you? Ultima point. I'm re-rolling that.
Good luck.
That's a 7. Plus a 3. Guess a 10 plus 2 is a 12. Again.
Still no.
How dare you? Trying to steal your mind and there's nothing to steal.
I don't have one of those. Next time, pick on a real boy.
His turn is done. It's over to Ophi.
So here's the thing. Is I have these sick wings, but I also have these sick hands that contain multitudes. I'm gonna make a potion, I think. Up to you if I can still mechanically be holding on to this horse, but at the very least I don't want to fall off.
I think your wings are holding on, so your hands are
yeah,
fine.
right? Okay, cool. Great. Awesome. I'm gonna make a goofy little potion and see if I can be helpful. Is what, 4 IP? Yeah. There's so much math that goes into thes potions. I'm so sorry.
What'd you get for playing a nerd class?
11, 7. What? Oh, this is gonna end badly, but I'm gonna do it. So Ovi goes to reach for potion shenanigans, and unfortunately grabs some wires. And it's like, this is fine. There's like there's like metals in there that you could do reaction. They're still plugged into her.
Uh-huh.
So this this horse that is holding Ovi, or being held by Ovi, lovingly in the air, is going to suffer 20 points of bolt damage. And I know for my flying stats, if I take bolt damage, then I can't do the flying thing. So
Well,
I don't know if that's the same for undead horses, but
it's
I'll put
40
that-
points of bolt damage.
yeah, it is. Oops.
Does not prevent flying.
Okay, cool.
So the two of you are still aloft, but
Okay.
it is very, very much hurting. Not quite in crisis, but we are getting very close.
All right, so defibrillator is a no. Good. Understood.
Anything else?
I think that's all I'm legally allowed to do on a turn.
Well, the horse is going to try to bite you out of revenge.
Godspeed, my dude.
6, 7, 8, 9 against your defense.
Ooh, just hits.
Or 16 points of physical damage.
Physical damage? Must you?
Yeah, its bite is physical. It's just big horse choppers.
Well, it hit me and I was already in crisis, so I'm gonna get 5 hit points back, because I'm a weird mutant little guy.
Rude.
So I'm still not doing great, as the kids would say, but I'm not dead yet.
You got it. That brings us back to Death, who is going to hold that scythe up for a moment. Look at Cadence. You or him?
Cadence, I think, stares back at him for a moment and just lunges with the shield. Kind of the shield held out in front of her, just lunges towards him, trying to like body check him to
Absolutely.
answer his question. I realize I've only been attacking once per turn, and I forgot I do it twice with breach. So he should have much more damage, but I'll fix that going forward.
I mean, how much does your breach do on average?
I mean, the breach attack has been doing 45, and then I'm supposed to be like between 40, 45-ish, and I'm supposed to be doing another attack because it's in addition, it's as part of an action, you also get a free attack. So I'm supposed to be doing another, I don't know, 10 to 20 points on top of that, or 10 to 25 points on top of that.
I'll throw 25 on.
Thank you.
Well, both of these scythe attacks are going on you.
Awesome.
Where are you? This is what I need the D20 for.
Ah, shit.
Because this is judgment time. You have been judged.
Oh. That's not a status, is it?
No. 14, 28, 30. What is your defense?
13.
13. So you'll take the difference plus 10, so 27 points of dark damage reduced down to 13.
Okay.
And
That will put me into crisis.
19 plus 9, 28, 29, 30. Again, that's weird. So again, after resistance, another 13 points of dark damage. And we need to give you a death glare. Which is a d6 plus a d8. Where's my d6? Double threes. So 8 against your magic defense.
Not at all.
Nope. You avoid the death glare. That's taking a total of 26 points of dark damage.
Okay.
And Echo is still sitting there at 1 hit point, barely standing.
Yeah, Cadence takes these two and is just like grinning through it, jaw clenched, staring him in the eyes, breathing hard.
Scythe just comes down again and again, shield barely getting up in time to stop a majority of the blows.
We're not going to lose this time.
Yes, you will. That is his turn done. That is the end of the round. We've officially hit the turning point of this battle. From the sky, Ophi, you can see that your companions are keeping the horde at bay, dropping 1, 2, 3 of these demons with every swing of their weapon, but every single one they kill is replaced. They're getting pushed back. They're getting swarmed. You don't have a ton of time left. Again, -1 everyone's accuracy or 5 points of fire damage.
-1.
The -1.
Make this baby minus.
I'll take that damage.
So you take 2 points of fire damage. Echo, Cadence, top of the round is to you.
Speaking of time,
Uh-huh.
I've traveled with Enola for a while. I've worked with her in the past.
Mhm.
Do I feel like she has some MP left? Or are we on our own here as far as
We have spent 50. The tank is running a little low. Well, no, hold on. I could have only spent 25 for that emergency mercy because of the familiar.
Amazing.
So we've only spent 40... 45? No. 50, 60, 70. Yes. So instead of having spent 70 MP, we've only spent 45 MP.
Awesome. So yeah, with that quip back and forth with him, Cadence glances towards Echo for just a moment, and her eyes soften a little bit, and she looks back towards Death and gives a bit of a smirk, and she steps back and stabs Starshine down into the ground, and a fractal clock face appears underneath her and twists. And I'm going to do big things. I'm going to spend so much MP. I'm going to attach Breach to Stolen Time. I'm going to spend 20 MP total, which is a lot for me. So, first thing, I am going to, spending 10 on Stolen Time, I can select 2 options. I am first going to activate an equipment piece I have. I'm going to activate the hairpiece Zariel gave me to stop time. And then I am going to speed up time for Enola so that she goes immediately after me when I finish my turn.
Okay.
Then as that takes effect, she pulls the sword out and in a blur is on the other side of Death, stabbing in with Breach.
Do it.
That is a 15 to hit, -3, a 12 to hit.
12
No.
absolutely hits.
13 to hit.
Yeah.
Because I have a +1 from Starshine.
His defense is so low.
Doing math. That is 19. He has 1 status effect.
He does.
44 points of light damage.
44. He is hurting.
Time is stopped, and it is Enola's turn.
Who wants some healing?
Desperately.
That will be 30 points of healing, and
I'll be fine if she can't.
she can afford it, but that will tap her until she can get some MP restored.
Gotta do it.
Okay.
Are you about to die?
I'm like down to 1.
I mean, I'm not really getting hit. It's
You're
fine.
getting bit by a horse.
Most of this damage I took from myself, so I
Well, it's
am super crisis though.
then yeah, we will give 40 points of healing to each of you.
40, you said?
40.
Ticket.
And that means
Sweet.
that Enola is out of MP until we can spend a round restoring it. And then, because of time magic shenanigans, Echo, you immediately get to go.
Sweet. I am feeling a little bit more sprightly just because time has stopped again. I'm going to attack him with my rapier, but I'm going to sort of kneel down. And as one hand is stabbing Death, he isn't really looking at Death. He doesn't care about Death. He's doing this because of other reasons, but he is looking at Cadence, and in his left hand is a ring, and is like, bad time, I know, but we could die, and I kind of want to ask you to marry me here. And that's what I'm gonna do. Let me just pull up my D8. I mean, you think on that while I roll the stuff.
That is adorable and so on theme.
That is 14 to hit.
14 absolutely hits.
Sweet. 14 plus his status, 15, 16, 17, 18 physical damage from
18.
the stabby stab.
Still standing.
Cadence stares, is like mid-stab into a side, and looks over at Echo with a look of confusion on her face that this is happening in the middle of
Right
battle.
You chose right now.
And just stares at Echo for a moment, and kind of sees that trademark Echo smirk, and her face softens. Of course I will. Just survive. And she pushes back from Death again.
The two of you still having just been absolutely cut to ribbons and healed back up and cut to ribbons again. Death has not been so lucky as to have buff magic's healing and is looking severely hurt. But it is his turn. And we are going to use that scythe across the both of you. This time stepping forward, just going back and forth and carving into you both again and again. Onto Cadence. That's a 7 plus an 8 for a 17 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Or 18 points of... Oh no, we hit round 3. That is 18 points of light damage. That scythe is growing hotter and angrier, and it is burning beyond the darkness.
So now we no longer have. Okay. Cool.
It took him getting down to his last very small sliver of HP.
Mm-hmm.
And into Echo. That's a 5 plus a 1 for 7 against your defense.
It does not hit.
We're going to spend Ultima point number 3.
Fine. I hope you roll badly.
For 3 plus a 5, 8 plus 2 is 10 against your defense.
Do you meet it, beat it?
Yeah.
Or do I defend it?
Yeah, meets it, beats it.
Because I got a 10. Magic time.
Let's come say goodnight. That would be 16 points of light damage to you. That scythe burning hotter, cutting more sharply with every strike.
Cool.
And Cadence, you're immune to conditions. Echo, you are not. It is
No.
2 on your reaped clock.
Okay. Sweet.
We are then down to the horse, who is going to try to bite you again.
Is
It can
time
try.
still stopped? Is that for everyone? I don't know. I don't know how that works. We've
Horses are
barely used
immune
it
to
in
time.
combat.
You know what?
Horses are immune to time.
I'll do the
Horses
horse
are immune
last.
to time.
Ophi, you can go before the horse.
Yay! I'm gonna cause problems on purpose. Oh, do I want to do this? Yeah, I want to do this. I'm gonna do still holding the horse in a loving, fiery embrace. Gonna do some more potion crimes. And just sort of, for lack of a better word, beat this dead horse until it stops spitting out potions.
Till it sings or drinks water or whatever the phrase is.
Something like that. We can use Fabula points to reroll,
Yep.
correct?
You just invoke one of your traits or bonds or something of the
Yeah.
sort.
I'm going to be invoking a bond with Cadence because I know what the eye told me, and what I'm trying to go for with this is going to try to circumvent that. I don't know if it'll work, but this is a desperate last-ditch attempt to try to sway what the eye told me earlier. Let's see. There's so much math in these. I'm so sorry.
I like that we get to use all of the shiny math rocks in this game.
There's a lot of them. I even pulled out the metal ones. They felt topical. So if you hear clanking, I apologize. I guess we're going with this. They might be resistant. I don't know. So I'm going to use... There's a 17 in here and there's a 5 in here. So that is a potion that is going to affect every enemy present on the scene. And you said I can see the horde, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. That's going to be 20 dark damage to every enemy that is on the scene. I don't know if they're resistant or immune or whatever to that, but that's the only damage that I rolled, so...
Unfortunately, that does not even one single point of damage.
The eye was right.
It is just this burst, a cloud that rains down on the battlefield, and you expect it to give your ally some breathing room, but they just shrug it off.
Yeah, if anyone is looking, which I highly doubt, there is just a head pops up from this flaming orb of horse in the sky. Just like looking expectantly and then absolutely crushed. And that I think is all I can do, because that's an action.
Death, the second turn, is going to swing that murderous scythe one more time. Find my D10. There's my D10. Against Cadence, that's a 10 plus a 1, so a 13.
13 just meets it. So the stop time was not for the round.
Against
It's
Death, there is no stopping Death.
Okay.
But you have bought your
Good try.
allies and the horse around.
Yeah, 13 just hits.
So that would be 13 points of light damage.
Okay. It's not great.
And
Not doing great.
onto Echo. 9 plus 7, 16, 18 to hit. That
Does
is
hit.
19 points of light damage.
Cool.
Your clock is up to 3. Every step, it continues another swing of that scythe, stepping closer and closer, dragging the two of you back further and further, cutting through your armor, cutting through your defenses. No longer these precise blows, just wide, hateful, cleaving strikes. The horse has had enough of you on its back.
I decide when the horse has had enough.
Will you make a might dexterity roll contested against the horse?
Yeah, might dex? Okay.
That is a 7 for me.
That's an 8 for me, dog.
Just starts bucking, thrashing wildly. And in the process,
Sparks everywhere.
it is going to kind of by proxy just start drifting away from the battle.
What? No.
We are back down to Death. Are either of you in single digits?
Yep.
Nope.
Then, looking at Cadence, choose you or him.
You know my answer.
Understood. Nine, 8, 17, 18, 19 to hit.
Of course it does.
Second attack. 4, 8, 9, 10 to hit.
10 does not hit, and I get a counterattack.
You better make it good.
That is... Wait, what are we at? -3?
-3,
2?
yeah.
3? -3? 12 total.
You beat it by a lot.
10 points of light damage, because I don't get to add to it for counterattack.
He is no longer... his resistance to light damage has been removed once he hit Crisis. So that is full
Sorry,
20.
he had a resistance to light damage?
Sorry, he turned his weakness into neutral. But that neutral has gone
Okay.
back to weakness.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
And with that scythe coming down and your blade going up, there's just a moment where everything stops. The two weapons bisecting each other. Echo, that scythe has now fully cleaved down into Cadence. You see Death starting to waver a little. Is there anything you'd like to do? You're the only one close enough to do
Which damage do I
anything.
take?
You know what? Give me 1 second. I'm just going to let it stew in the moment for a little bit. I will be right back. I'm so sorry.
Make me cry. It's fine.
Everything is fine.
Everything is
I
Want to see
awesome.
how hard I can cry?
So,
Cool.
Echo, as you watch this scythe come down right into Cadence, as the rapier, right? Your weapon's in the form of a rapier right now.
Yeah.
Your rapier is poised, ready to do whatever you can. What would you like to do?
I am going to turn to look at Cadence. And I'm gonna go, babe. Can't die now. We got a wedding to plan. Gotta meet my friends, my family. They're not great, but you gotta meet them. And I'm gonna use the encourage move, which is during a conflict, I will use an action and spend 5 mind points, and give 4 times 5. 4 times 5 hit points, and they can choose either dexterity, insight, might, or willpower, to be 1 die at the start.
I'm about to make this everyone's problem. So it's 20 total.
20 healing.
Sprout, before coming into this battle, gave me an ability that allows me to, one time of my choosing, double the hit points that I heal. So that's going to be 40 points of healing from my now fiance, reminding me that I need to live to our wedding day.
We have
brings me
a
back up to
wedding
full.
plan.
And I'm bumping my dexterity die up to 12.
Happy Pride. Happy Pride. Happy Pride. Happy Pride.
You are
Truly, we are
bolstered.
saved by gay. Sorry.
Saved by Gay, taking 36 points of light damage.
36 points. I am also going to daydream and cut that in half to 18.
Down to 18. From nearly being dropped to being back in the fight.
I can
The
love this
scythe cuts
song.
into me, and Cadence kind of grunts a little and smirks at Echo and looks back up at Death. Is that all you got?
That
You were supposed to
armor
be tougher here.
is starting to crack. Bits of it falling off, hitting the ground, and sizzling as it physically melts into whatever earth is under your feet. Until that faceplate finally falls off. And it is just an empty void of a face. You can see faint skeletal features mixed in with the swirling shadows of void. But those plates of armor continue to fall. We are technically back to the top of the round. Cadence, it is your turn.
Absolutely. I am going to take so much joy in this. After that quip, and smiling still at Echo over his shoulder, she steps back and is going to shove Starshine into that open void where his face should be. I am rolling 2d12 for this now.
I am no man.
Absolutely. I have Eowyn's sword tattooed down my spine. Absolutely. That is double 12s.
That is a 24 versus a defense of 5 now without the armor.
And I am going to... Let me check the opportunities. So I know he's rough, so I want damage here. I'm going to... He does not have slow, correct?
He does not. In fact, at the moment, he has no conditions.
Oh, that's no fun. I'm going to slow him.
He is slowed.
Awesome. Spending the last of my MP currently for this. He is going to take 47 points of light damage on that first hit.
But you're not done.
No, I'm not done. No. What does weakness do? Is that double it? I'm just keeping for my own high score, keeping track of this. Cool. Second hit, not as good, but that is a 13. No. Plus 1's 14, minus 3 is 11.
You beat a 5.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. 11, and that is... another 31 points of light damage. So she stabs into the void and pulls back, and if this kills him, slices across like beheading motion. That is. How much damage did I just do?
176 points of damage.
I think that's a high score for me.
What's left of the physical form is just cut to pieces that just come clattering to the ground. Each one of them just melting into that solid earth under your feet. And there is a silence just washes over the battlefield. Ophi, from your vantage point in the sky, there's a moment where everything is calm, and even the horse even stops trying to throw you off before disintegrating under you. And you were just left to plummet until you can get your own wings out again.
And I can see that these two are still standing.
Yeah. For the moment that you were still high enough to see so, absolutely.
Ophi is turning tail and heading for the horde.
You got it.
And I don't know if the horde still exists from this vantage point, or if they have also dissipated.
Everything is kind of stopped. Everyone's looking between each other back and forth. This endless horde of demons taking a few steps back. Cadence and Echo, what would the two of you like to do?
Echo is gonna shout, "That's my wife to be, bitch!" To Death, at Death's body, and is like, "Are we done fighting? Because I'm really tired." To Cadence.
Cadence laughs out at that exclamation. Pulls an elixir off her belt. I do want to drink an elixir, just in case, because we are still in hell, which is going to recover 50 mind points. Doesn't top me off, but gives me enough. And then is going to kind of downs it as she's quickly stepping over to Echo and kind of wrapping Echo up in a hug. Oh, I hope we're done. Really hope we're done. I don't know how much more we have in us.
I have nothing left in me, just so you know. But it's okay, I trust you.
The ground under your feet starts to shake. Everything becomes semi-solid. Under your feet, it feels like you're sinking. You have to lift your feet up as if you were standing in quicksand. Every one of those demons that had taken a step back all let out this roar. For the two of you still at the center of this, it's hard to see where any of your allies are, or if they're even still alive. But there's a fissure that starts in between the two of you and then rapidly just separates the ground. A hand the size of a, well, horse lifts up out of the ground, grabs onto an edge of the fissure. Skeletal, purely bone white. From the other side, another hand grabs, and they both pull, leaving that space between you to be filled with the mangled, pieced together form of some skeletal giant built of hundreds of thousands of millions of different pieces of bone, all forming a monstrosity. I think with that, we are going to have to put in a pin in it for part 2. I promised a JRPG multi-phase boss fight, and you got it. But don't worry, we're still all at full health, full MP. We didn't spend any of our inventory points. We're fine. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for being an amazing cast, and hopefully next time, our life and scheduling allowing, we will be able to close out our epic boss fight with the entire team here, side by side, going all out, leave nothing on the table. Anyways, thank you to everyone that came out to support us as well. Singularity Roleplay, thank you for the raid. Live from the Apocalypse, thank you for the raid. Y'all are amazing. We love you so much. But I want to go around, let everyone tell you who they are, where you can find them, and then we will get out of your hair. We'll go left to right, top to bottom as we do, which means that we are starting with Anna.
That is me. Hello. I am Anna, aka Archival Desk, Bunny most places on the internet. I'm a queer and trans advocate, museum worker, and TTRPG performer, producer, and podcaster. You find me on Twitter at Archival Desk Bun and everywhere else on social media, including Instagram and Blue Sky at Archival Desk Bunny. I'm kind of all over the place. Check out my socials to see where and when I'm streaming. But UForce Inheritance returns next weekend. We are pre-recording those episodes now, but the 7th, next Sunday, is when the next episode will be up. That is our Masks actual play. Amazing group of players and characters. We wheel back and forth between funny and heartbreaking. So if you enjoy all of your emotions in an AP session, check that out over on Thorny Dryads channel. On Friday nights, of course, Morphs in the Swamp, our Animorphs Blades in the Dark campaign is in season 3. We're in it. We're in the thick of war. Things are rough and traumatic and everything that you would expect. But we have love and friendship, and that might be enough to beat the Yerks. I don't know. Catch that every Friday night over on Valdrine's channel. If you have not seen the first 2 seasons of that, check them out on YouTube. Yeah, and if you enjoy Magical Girls, queer narratives, and finding hope again after devastating loss, check out Bloom and Blight, our Girl by Moonlight actual play podcast. We are coming up on the season 1 finale, but our episodes are only about an hour long each, so it's very easy to catch up. We're fully soundscaped, music, sound effects, an amazing cast and characters. You can find us anywhere you normally get your podcast and on social media at Bloom and Blight. And of course, if you want cast information, character information, transcripts for our episodes, a link to our amazing community Discord server, or very soon, downloadable page where we'll have some art and those sorts of things for you to download for your devices, check out bloomandblight.com.
Absolutely. You do so many cool things. Then that would bring us over to Kian, who unfortunately had to step away because life is just like that. But I know for a fact that Kian will be in some Nova here on the last Caravan going forward, as well as I think a few streams on Entropy Emporium. So go check out Entropy Emporium. They're a bunch of very cool nerds as well. And over to Glyza.
Oh, hello. My name is Glyza. I go by they, he, she. Yes, in that order. I do a lot of things on the internet. So many things. If you find an @classical Glyza, hey, guess what? You found me. I am the guide for the current longest running Monster Care Squad actual play. As you can see, sorry, I don't know why I said that. Every Thursdays we play. Most of the time if people are here. We are just about to start our new arc, where they meet a new monster soon, hopefully. So keep an eye out on my Twitter for any announcements. But enough about that. Like I said, I do a lot of things on the internet. Right now, though, I need more people to go ahead and check out Operation Olive Branch. And Operation Olive Branch is basically an exhaustive list of all the many, many, many ways that you can help support Palestine, help support the people that are suffering right now over at Palestine. There's in their link tree, which is in the chat. You can see many GoFundMe's, eSIMs link. All of this really, really helpful. So it's basically taken the choice out of you. So you just click on that link and it'll help you support the people of Palestine. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. And that's it for me.
Absolutely. And then over to is that a cat in your lap? Yes.
It is, in fact. I will let Vincent take it away.
Yep. Clearly the star of the show.
It's true. Unfortunately, she only speaks German, so I will have to take it.
Translate. Over to Kit.
Hey guys, I'm Kit. You can find me most places on the internet at Kit Roll, or on some places, if they're still there, at Kit Roll Cause. A lot of my games are in the end game, or mid-season, or end of the season right now, so I've got a real light little list for you today. Typically, over on the High Shelf Collective, every other Wednesday, you can catch Beacons of Farlight. We will be running Beacon Bites shortly, so there's an interim season there, but catch us in just a couple of weeks for the main series coming back around. It's a post-apocalyptic-ish gross punk, I believe they've called it, little game using the Beacon system. I played a little AI who was eating his feelings and learning to be a real boy. See, over on Live from the Apocalypse, I believe we've had to reschedule some things around, but I believe July 20th is the date to watch out for the Table 2 finale of A Season of Secrets and Shadows. Season 3, we're back, baby. It is 2 tables, it is 1 cohesive story, it is Regency-flavored Monster Hearts. I play a country girl turned vampire turned court goer, so just like normal stuff. I have been in Darkest Self the entire season, and I'm not about to stop now. It is a delightful little show. It is heartbreaking. It is raunchy. It's exactly what it says on the tin. And then Anna said it best, so I'm just going to reiterate. If you like magical girls, listen to Bloom and Blight. It's an awesome show. We have a lot of fun making it. And now is a great time to catch up because it is only getting more wild from here. I think that's all I'm allowed to plug for now. There will be a couple more things dropping shortly, so keep an eye on socials. Anything you've got to say, Vincent?
Ow.
Excellent.
That just leaves me. Also, not here tonight, but hopefully join us next time is Taylor, who is over on High Shelf Collective and who does a ton of very amazing things all the time. All these channels that everyone mentioned is amazing. As for me, very soon I mean in August, we will be starting not 1 but 2 campaigns, that being Cyberpunk Red We're playing a campaign that I have written called The Fall of the House of Red. A play on the show that I absolutely loved, that it was so good, The Fall of the House of Usher. So, expect, it gives you something to expect. As well as we're playing the Fallout 2D20 system in the Winter of Adam campaign, both of which I'm very excited for. But yeah, that's all we got. As always, if you want to come roll some dice with us, we do casting calls every month over on our Discord, where we just like to hang out and be giant nerds. But yeah, that's it. That's all we got. My good friend Yoshibi is currently streaming. One of the very first internet personalities that I ever got to meet. We've been friends for a couple years. Very funny, very sweet individual. So we're going to go share some love. But as always, be good people, do good things, save your boyfriends and girlfriends. See you next time. Bye, buddy.